Hey guys, gizmoddict here, and this is the Redmi Note 6 Pro. To be honest, I'm not really excited about this phone because let's face it, it's basically like the Redmi Note 5 Pro. I did get it in the first sale and I was using it as my secondary phone and lately as my primary, but honestly, I just didn't find anything exciting about the Note 6 Pro. It's pretty much the Redmi Note 5 Pro with a different set of cameras and a huge notch on the front. Seriously, just look at that notch. So why buy this phone in the first place? Well, I think that this phone has been geared more towards the offline market than the online one. I mean, sure, you get some very good value for money phones as compared to the Redmi Note 6 Pro in the online market like the Zenfone Max Pro M2. But then consider this, in the offline market for around 14,000 rupees, you're getting a Snapdragon 636, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 GB of storage, 4000 mAh of battery, a full HD display with a notch and a dual set of cameras not only on the back as well as on the front. So if you consider that for the offline market, it's a super value for money phone. And the Note 6 Pro actually is a very good phone to use. Well, almost. While the Snapdragon 636 might not sound great as compared to the Snapdragon 660s that we have now, it is still very capable of handling your everyday usage and a lot more. Jumping between apps, scrolling through your social media feed, navigating through MIUI, everything is very smooth here. Where the phone does back down a bit is in terms of gaming, especially PUBG. For some reason it's not very smooth and you cannot even enable the high frame rate option here. So that's something I didn't like because even on the Max Pro M1 which has a Snapdragon 636, you can go with the high frame rate option, but it's just not available here. So PUBG is not going to be the smoothest experience, especially compared to the Snapdragon 660 devices, but then other games should run just fine. And if you're not a gamer, then these differences are not going to matter to you anyways. What might actually get in your way though is MIUI. Now honestly, I have been a big fan of MIUI. I used to consider it one of the best interfaces in budget smartphones. But then lately, I have been gravitating away from that opinion. And that's because Xiaomi has started to put ads on MIUI. So initially it was only restricted to, their music app, their video app, and even the file manager. And I was still okay with that. But then recently, while I was browsing Instagram on the Redmi Note 6 Pro, I got a recommendation from MIUI to follow Xiaomi's India head. I mean, seriously, Xiaomi, you're also going to get into the third-party apps and throw in your ads. That's actually super bad. If you remember, there was another brand that was pushing ads in their interface, Micromax, and guess where they are right now. So seriously, if someone from Xiaomi is watching this, then you need to fix this. You just cannot send ads in your interface. And I know there are a couple of ways to disable ads and things like that, but why put them in the first place? Why make the user do extra efforts to disable the ads that actually no one want? So if someone from Xiaomi is watching this, please go and fix this because nobody likes paying 15,000 rupees and then have ads on their phone. And it's not like your phone is the most value for money option anymore. Other people are putting Snapdragon 660s for a cheaper price, and if you're saying that you have to put ads to make up the money somewhere, that's ridiculous and stupid. So stop putting ads in your phone because it's ruining the experience that a lot of users had with MIUI. Another issue that I had, which might be software related, was that the touch response sometimes was not that great. Now if you remember, the Poco F1 also has a similar issue. So while typing on the Note 6 Pro especially, I did feel some inconsistency here and there sometimes. It didn't occur all the times, but then sometimes I did feel a bit of inconsistency in the touchscreen while typing. So maybe it's a software bug, so that can be fixed with an update. And talking about updates, I have gotten like 2-3 of them and I'm still waiting on the Pi update on the Note 6 Pro. So yeah, the updates are not the fastest, but then that's always been the case with MIUI. On that note, let's talk about something positive again, which is the build quality of this phone. It's not fancy looking like the Realme 2 Pro or the Zenfone Max Pro M2, but then it's made well. You've got a metal body here, it feels very sturdy, gives you that heft and that solid feeling when you're holding it, and this lake blue shade has low-key become my favorite. I know that design is getting a bit old, but hey, the Redmi Note 7 and the Note 7 Pro are hitting the Indian markets very soon and they're going to be game changers with their glass body and the dewdrop notches. Talking about notches, this phone has a huge one. But it does exist for a reason. Xiaomi put in a secondary sensor along with the 20 megapixel front-facing camera to take some amazing selfies. And the results are actually quite good. This is one of the good smartphone camera for selfies, but then I don't like the way it overexposes the photos all the time. When it comes to the front-facing camera, it's like a characteristic of every Xiaomi selfie camera. To be honest, the Realme U1 has a better selfie camera and so does the Zenfone Max Pro M2 with Google camera. But then the rear facing camera is where Xiaomi has done a great job. If you're only going to compare the stock cameras of the phone, the Redmi Note 6 Pro right now is the best phone in terms of camera performance. But then if you're going to throw in Google camera on the Zenfone Max Pro M2, then that is going to be my pick. Now I know you guys will say that it's unfair to do this comparison. No, it's not. Because getting Google camera on the Note 6 Pro is a lot more difficult than it is on the Zenfone Max Pro M2. So that's settled. But then like I said, if you're only comparing the stock apps, then this guy is the winner. Even in terms of video, although I do miss 4K recording on the Note 6 Pro, the 1080p footage, especially with electronic image stabilization turned on, is very good. So cameras are great, they're just not the best that exists in the market right now. To view the images that you take on your Note 6 Pro, you've got a very good Full HD Plus panel here. The display is great, you've got good colors, good viewing angles, and I didn't find anything to complain about, which is also the case with the battery life. Xiaomi always impresses on the battery front, and the 4000 mAh of battery on the Note 6 Pro is no exception. It exactly charges in 2 hours, and on my heavy usage days, I easily got around 5.5 to 6 hours of screen on time. And let me tell you how heavy my usage is. I had two SIM cards, both on 4G VoLTE. I was using dual apps, so I had two WhatsApp accounts active all the time, music streaming via Bluetooth, Google Maps, and streaming an episode or two on Netflix or Hotstar. So super heavy usage, and it still got me through every day. So that's a huge thumbs up from my side. Talking about Netflix, sorry, there's no wideband L1 support here, so it will only work up to 540p, but then apps like Hotstar, YouTube, etc. work fine on HD. The call quality was very good on this phone too on both of my SIM cards. I normally use Airtel and Jio, so no complaints there. The audio via the headphone jack was great, the audio via Bluetooth was great, and talking about the fingerprint sensor, it's pretty fast. It's as fast as it can get, and the face unlock is a little slow. It's not as fast as the Realme 2 Pro, but then it takes like a second or two to recognize your face and then unlock. So no complaints there, it still works. And overall, the Redmi Note 6 Pro is actually a very good phone. But then the ultimate question is, should you buy the Redmi Note 6 Pro over the competition? Well, if you're in the offline market, I don't think you have a better option under 15,000 rupees than the Redmi Note 6 Pro. So if you're going to shop offline or you just want a Xiaomi phone, then maybe you can go with the Redmi Note 6 Pro. But then if you're shopping online, I would say just two things. Either wait for the Redmi Note 7 Pro, which has a Snapdragon 675, or just go and get the Zenfone Max Pro M2. The Max Pro M2 overall is a much better phone than the Redmi Note 6 Pro, but honestly, if I was in your place, I would just wait for the Redmi Note 7 Pro. Considering it's going to come with a Snapdragon 675, it might be even better than the 660 you get on the Max Pro M2. So then it's clear, if you just have to buy a phone right now, offline, go with the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Online, go with the Zenfone Max Pro M2, and if you can wait for the Redmi Note 7 Pro. And I hope that settles all of the confusion in your mind. So that was my review of the Redmi Note 6 Pro. If you guys liked watching it, then please let me know in the comments and also like this video. If you're new here, then definitely hit the red subscribe button and press the bell icon so that you guys are notified every time I make a new video. I will be covering the Galaxy M series very soon, and maybe I'll compare it with these phones as well. So if you guys like watching such videos, then please subscribe. And you can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages for some more behind the scenes content. Anyways, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back in the notifications very soon. Peace.